So it turns out in this experiment that they learned rhesus monkeys tended to spend a large majority of their day, like up to 22 hours or so, cuddling this blanketed mother. So they valued this comfort, this safety, way more than they valued the need for food. Turns out that only a couple hours of the day when they were really starving did they jump over to get food, but then they were right back to the comfort again. So this kind of emphasizes this importance of psychological aspect, this importance of emotional attachment to something more than just whatever it can physically provide for you. So there are a couple different styles of attachment. One of which is secure attachment, which is defined as when children will explore confidently and normally and then return to the caregiver for reassurance. So Lisa, the little infant from the previous video, was said to have secure attachment. So she interacted with the stranger a little bit when her mom was present. She looked at the stranger a lot. She was not crying when they were on the floor, and she was kind of interacting, playing with toys. But as soon as her mother left, she became distressed, and then she would no longer interact with the stranger. She wanted her mother back. And when her mother returned, Lisa greeted her warmly. She stopped crying. She returned back to playing. So it's kind of this predictable, secure style of attachment. But there are also insecure styles of attachment, and they come in several different forms. So in an avoidant style of attachment, the child is very indifferent. They don't show distress when the mom is gone. They don't approach when she returns. So this kind of child would allow the stranger to comfort them because they don't have a preferential attachment to one particular person or their parents, for instance. There's also anxious ambivalent attachment, which is kind of this underlying, never really having that confident baseline kind of feeling. So they're anxious even when their mom is present, if there's like another stranger in the room, and they are in great distress when the mom leaves and pretty clingy, but also kind of mixed ambivalent feelings when she returns. And then the third way of insecure attachment is this disorganized attachment. So this is often very inconsistent. The child doesn't display any sort of behaviors that are easy to monitor and predict, but they also might seem very dazed and confused. So they are not maybe aware that their mom left. They might not be really confident or showing signs that they know where they're at or what they're supposed to be doing. So not attached or aware of where their caregiver is and what's going on. Now, it's kind of important to know that attachment styles predicts the quality of our relationships in adulthood. Not a perfect relationship, but we know that children who have insecure attachment tend to have less stable relationships than children that have secure attachment. We also know that attachment styles differ between cultures. Again, there are cultural differences. So compared to the US, Japan has a lot more of this anxious, ambivalent style of attachment, but very few avoidant children. Um, Germany has a similar proportion of anxious, ambivalent infants as the US, but they have more avoidant. So national differences seem to kind of suggest that there are certain aspects of a culture that might shape parenting, this kind of nurturing component that might shape attachment styles.